It's Friday, June 30, 2023. Good morning and welcome to the morning news here on TV3 with me, Godwin Asidiba. Coming up this morning. In the bulletin, Speaker of Parliament comments on Judge Kweson's case, saying selective justice does not augur for peace. Also in the bulletin, Independent Power Producers directs its members to suspend power supply to National Grid from July 1 over outstanding debt owed by government. Meanwhile, Executive Director at Africa Center for Energy Policy, Benjamin Boachi, says government cannot afford to pay the 30% of IPPs that they are demanding. We have details of these and some other stories coming your way shortly. Do stay with us. You can find us on DSTV channel 279. We're also streaming across the world on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. The details now. The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Babin, has expressed concerns over Ghana's freedom of speech retrogression, calling on government to improve from its current 62nd ranking. He made the observation when he called on management of Media General in Accra.
Is celebrating 30 years of democracy, and as part of activities, the legislature, led by the Speaker, is visiting media houses for better collaboration and partnership.
These 3 decades, we must take it and run with, and at least not just mark the milestone, but celebrate it together as a country, and use that opportunity to reach out to all Ghanaians to understand what we are doing. It's very important because that social capital in development is missing. And part of the celebration is for us to reach out to our critical partners like the media. And then together, we learn together, we exchange ideas together, and we work together to make sure that the advocacy, the education, the information flow is there for everybody to get to understand where we came from.
The Speaker expressed discontent with media's declining freedom of speech.
Leadership will have to sit up because we're moving up there. All of a sudden, there's retrogression. And you recall around 2015, we scored as much as 22nd position. Now, we are at the 62nd position. It's not the best. People who claim to be a model democracy in Africa, because of our past glory, resting on our OS and thinking that we're doing well. A lot of countries in Africa have overtaken us. So what do we do to prevent that? Parliament, as an institution, as an arm of government, is the protector of the rights and freedoms of all the people. And so we need to stand up. And you need to know that when these things are happening, you have to fall on us. Either through your members of parliament or through the institution itself, and then we take it up.
He said Parliament's doors are open to all, and the legislature will open a parliamentary museum to celebrate Ghana's independence story.
We bring in new rules. We call them orders, standing orders in the House. We revised the standing orders. We're creating new committees or additional committees. And we are also opening up those committee meetings to all media. That will help to nourish the discourse in the House to improve upon the value of our laws, of our oversight, and of everything. So,
Group Chief Executive Officer of Media General, Beatrice Ajman, assured the Speaker of Media General's support.
We want to be part of the work you are doing in Parliament. I know that this is the beginning of a good relationship. We love the fact that you want to archive all your material in a museum. We are here, we have a very big library. We will support you with any material you need, but most importantly, the kind of support that you are willing to give to media personnel in the kind of work we do is very much needed. I believe that the media in this country now is most of the time gagged, but for us at Media General, We will continue to do our work without fear or favor. We will continue to stay balanced, very objective and fair in everything we put out there.
Still on the Speaker's visit, Alban Babin said selective justice is an affront to peace. He regretted that the MP-elect for the Asin North constituency, James Jachikwason, is still being pursued to be prosecuted.
James Jachikwason won the 2020 parliamentary election in the Asin North constituency to represent the people there. But in November 2020, a group called the Concerned Citizens of Asin North petitioned the Electoral Commission in the Central Region to revoke his candidacy, arguing that he owed allegiance to Canada. The Supreme Court later ruled that Jachikwason should stop holding himself as an MP and subsequently directed Parliament to expunge his name from its records, declaring his election as null and void. In the heat of the campaign in Asin North for the by-election, President Akufo-Addo asked the people if they wanted to elect a member who could be jailed. This did not sit well with many, particularly the NDC. A law professor and a fellow at the Center for Democratic Governance, Professor Kweku Asare, has this to say.
That notion that at the time of filing your nomination, you should be a single citizen is wrong as a matter of law. I mean, anybody at all can go and read the PNDC law. And when you read the PNDC law, it is crystal clear that Jachikwason qualified to run for MP. And in fact, the Electoral Commission itself is the one that wrote those regulations. They said he qualified.
The Speaker of Parliament, at a courtesy call on the management of Media Journal, said it is sad that Jachikwason is still being pursued to be prosecuted when others with similar offence are left off the hook.
We just elected a fresh MP, and I have to go and swear him in to start his work. In spite of the fact that the same thing I complain about is still happening. They are chasing after him and trying to prosecute him, even though we know that even in that respect that they are talking about, there are many more of us who have the same thing, but they are not being prosecuted. That is the country we are in, and we need to bring this out. Once you have selective justice, you never have peace. Once you have justice, there will definitely be peace, where everybody matters. And therefore, you work together. But if you say, I don't matter, then you too, you don't matter. And then that's a conflict situation. And so we need to look at this together. And I believe that after we sworn in the member, we still get our hung parliament 137. 137.
He says the hung parliament is the doing of God to change a lot of things in the country.
Nobody decided on that apart from the Almighty God. And the only independent member comes from the party in government and says he's independent. And the speaker, who is impartial, comes from the party who is in opposition. Who has decided this? Is it any of us? No. It's God. And there's good reason why God decided it. That this is the opportune time for us to change things. Things that the earlier parliaments were struggling to do because of mob action, majoritarian system, where you have many MPs from one party and behind pushing whoever is their speaker, and the presidents adding their weight to it. The speakers definitely are human. They could not stand up to the pressure.
48 hours after winning a landslide victory in the Asin North by-election, James Jachikwason could not be sworn in by the Speaker on Thursday following the failure by the Electoral Commission to notify the Speaker on Kwason's elections writ. Some NDC MPs have been speaking to Komla Kloche on the floor of Parliament.
The expectation of the NDC MPs who came to Parliament on Thursday wearing white apparel was that James Jachikwason would be sworn in by the Speaker just after that emphatic victory he secured at the by-election in the Asin North constituency. Many of them, right from the leadership to the backbench, don white apparel, indicating a resounding victory. Checks from the Speaker's Secretariat indicates that the Electoral Commission is yet to officially notify the Speaker with the rate of election that James Jachikweson has been elected as a Member of Parliament. It is on that basis that the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Suman Bagbin, will be swearing in James Jachikweson. But the NDC MPs are questioning why the Electoral Commission, 48 hours after the victory of James Jachikweson, is yet to inform the Speaker officially on his election.
We are disappointed. We are in a hurry to see our member back to the chamber. And so we are calling on the Electoral Commission to do the needful. By tomorrow, they have to send a communique to the Speaker so that the needful will be done. To some extent, you know, there has been so many skirmishes in Jachikweson's case. And so if, as we speak now, things are being delayed, one can only conclude that there have been some skirmishes, thinking that probably Jachikweson might have been imprisoned within the shortest possible time for another by-election. Jachikweson must be sworn in as a Member of Parliament. That is all we need, because he has won, he has been duly elected, and the Electoral Commission must, it's a mandatory that they have to send a communique to the Speaker.
Question has been duly elected. So there is no reason why anybody should be doubting as to why he will not be sworn in today or whatever it is. He would have been sworn in today if the Speaker were around. I'm surprised anyway, but it will be done. It will be done, and it must be done. I'm surprised anyway, but it will be done. There is no way Electoral Commission will not do it. It will be done, because he has been duly elected.
But to them, with what they describe as skirmishes from their own readings and understanding, says irrespective of whatever there is, James Jachikweson will be sworn in, and he will be given all the support despite going to the court for now on a daily basis. Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Parliament House, Accra.
Back in the studios, the national organizer of the governing New Patriotic Party, Henry Nana Boakye, has issued a public apology to the former Minister of Trade and Industry and flag-bearer aspirant of the party, Alan Kyerematen. The apology comes on the back of an incident during the party's final rally in Asen North. A viral video showed the Vice President's arrival and introduction during the campaign rally, while Alan Kyerematen was addressing the gathering. Now, excerpts of the statement reads, "Unfortunately, the Vice President arrived at the time Honorable Alan John Kojo Kyerematen was speaking at the rally, causing an abrupt interruption in Honorable Kyerematen's address." And it goes further to say that he has actually apologized to Alan Kojo Kyerematen for bringing out or, posing such a wrong posturing, and this was a post he made on Facebook to officially apologize to him. It goes further to say that I would, however, state unequivocally that the incident was purely as a result of a communication glitch. It was not intentional and could never be a deliberate attempt in spite of Alan Kojo Kyerematen, as speculated in some circles. Well, so that's the statement there. He posted on Facebook yesterday an official apology to, Alan Kojo Kyerematen. Really a good one that people were looking out for. Well, it's a day to the expiration of the deadline given by independent power producers to cut supply to the national grid over outstanding arrears owed by government. The two parties were expected to meet on a personal by the power producers demanding 30% payment of the arrears.
Stalemate in negotiations, the Chamber has directed its members to cut supply to the national grid from July 1 and not to declare the available power capacity to the system operator till July 8. Members include Sonon Asogli, Sempa, Car Powership, AXA, Twin City Energy and Sinite. According to the Chamber, debt have hindered their access to working capital, preventing them from financing crucial inputs such as chemicals for water treatment and thermal generators and other supplies. Independent power producers play a significant role in Ghana's energy sector, controlling 47% of the country's total power generating mix and contributing 67% of Ghana's thermal power. The 6 companies collectively claim an outstanding debt of approximately $2 billion.
Meanwhile, Executive Director at the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Benjamin Boache, says government cannot afford to pay the 30% the IPPs are demanding.
Our government is going to meet that request. I think what they are requesting is 30% on their debt as of March, which was around 1.3, 1.4 billion. So that alone, 30% is close to $400 million. If the 30% is on the debt as of today, I mean, we're close to 2 billion, about 1.8, 1.9 billion dollars. That will be heavy for government to raise at this point in time. The expectation that there could be load shedding even 2 days to, the threat in itself is quite distracting for a power consumer who ordinarily should have no role in this kind of tussle, because once you pay your electricity bill, all you expect is for the power to be provided to you. All right, so that is the sad reality. But as to whether the IPPs will be able to carry out their threats, we can only live to see.
The petroleum tanker drivers have called off their strike following a crunch meeting with ministers of roads and highways and transport. The drivers were assured of an improvement in the 7-kilometer Tema heavy industrial area within 3 weeks and a 7-member committee to monitor progress of work. My colleague George Queening has been reporting.
The Roads and Highways Minister, together with the Transport Minister, were taken on a tour of the 7-kilometer stretch, which has been a major hindrance to the smooth transportation of petroleum products within the Tema heavy industrial area. The Roads and Highways Minister explained that contractor has been on site but admitted the slow pace of work. For instance, this pool caused by the rains had been filled. The union called for further deliberations, which took both ministers and the drivers into a 3-hour crunch meeting. A joint communique was issued after the meeting.
The union has decided to suspend strike by midnight today, 29 June 2023, based on the following conditions. Though works are currently ongoing on Tor Road and the contractor will increase his equipment holding on the road and ensure that riding quality is improved within 3 weeks.
The union wants access roads at the 3 other depots in Kumasi, Takoradi and Buipe improved.
Works on this access road will be commenced by tomorrow, 30th June 2023. A 7-member committee formed 3 from the ministries, 4 from the unions, has set up to monitor the progress of works in Tema, Kumasi, and Bupe.
The Roads Minister agreed to their proposal.
Meanwhile, Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association of Ghana, Gabriel Kumi, says there may be some delays in supplying LPG to the filling stations despite the call-off of the strike by tanker drivers, which has come as welcome news. He explained it takes close to 2 days for the product to move from depots to the outlets.
This is a big relief because we're really running against time. Our only hope is that whatever pushed them to go on this strike will be sorted, fully sorted, so we don't resort to this again. What this means is that loading will start in earnest tomorrow, but these products which are going to be loaded tomorrow, some of them may not get to their destination tomorrow. They're likely to get to their destination by Saturday. Normally it takes between 12 to 36 hours for the drivers to load the product and get to their destination. What we are hoping is that whatever stocks we have in the system should be able to hold us together till Saturday, when the stocks which are going to be loaded tomorrow gets to their destination.
We bring the news to an end this morning. My name is Godwin Asiba. For more news, you can log on to 3news.com. Don't also forget to stay interactive with us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube as TV3 Ghana. The show continues with Roland and Ajuanuola. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Hope you're well.
Happy Friday. It's the end of the month.
Yeah.
Hey,
You're excited about it?
Well, yeah. you know, the little things make us happy. And so I'm very excited that the month is ending on a Friday. Not that I have plans, but it's a good one.
Well,
So.
something really heartbreaking happened in Portugal yesterday.
Yes,
Jackie's manager
was
strangled.
I saw the videos, and I mean, I don't have too much detail on it, and so I would really like to hear from the team, either her team or anyone that was around, on what exactly happened, because the videos were not pleasant at all. So Jackie and some other Ghanaian artists, those Black Sheriff, Camido, they were booked to perform at Afro Nations Festival. That's the Portugal one. And I mean, videos surfacing online from George Britain's page indicates that I think some security personnel got into an altercation with Jackie's manager. Yes. Okay. And it wasn't a good sight, to be very honest. And he had to be rushed to the hospital.
Wow.
Yes, it was that bad. So we're just fingers
crossed. Is the manager
Ghanaian?
Or from
yes,
the
he's
UK?
Ghanaian.
He's Ghanaian.
He's Ghanaian.
Based in Ghana or the UK?
Based in Ghana. He's with her the whole time.
Okay.
So.
No, that's very unfortunate.
Very